Hi, Dr. Heather here from Wellspring Chiropractic Lifestyle Center. Today we're talking about neck pain, but specifically neck injuries. And if you have a clear nervous system going into an injury, you're going to have a better outcome than others. And here's why. The brain's in charge of running everything in your body, but it has to send the messages through the spinal cord and out through the nerve roots to get there. If you have any disturbance in those flow of messages, and it's more vague information that's going back and forth, then the brain can't control that area as well. So I want to tell you a story about my dad who actually injured his neck about 6 years ago. He stumbled on a frost heave walking across a road. He fell into a ditch. His face hit the side of the ditch. And when he got to the hospital, the EMTs brought him there and they took x-rays, and he had 9 fractures in the very top 2 vertebrae of his spine. So with 9 fractures at the top 2 vertebrae of the spine, we're expecting quadriplegia from that kind of a spinal cord injury. But it turns out that he had no neurological damage. And when the surgeons looked at the x-rays, they saw that there were fractures there, but everything was actually in place. So what happened is when the injury occurred, my dad's neck spasmed up, and the spasming actually held everything in place. Of course, the EMTs boarded him up so that he traveled safely. But when he got to the hospital, that's what they discovered, is that he had these fractures but no neurological damage because everything was actually in place. So instead of having to go in and do fusion to the spine, which he would then never have any more motion in the spine if they did that, instead, they used a halo brace, which was pretty much drilling holes into his skull to attach this frame so that he could then not displace any of the vertebrae while it healed up. So I was curious, like how does a 74-year-old guy break his neck in 9 places and have no neurological damage? Well, my brother sent an email out to all of his colleagues to let them know what had happened. And one email came back and it said, "Go figure. You adjust somebody every Wednesday for decades, and 2 days later on a Friday, they break their neck. You just never know." Well, that gave me the answer of why did he have such a good outcome. With a clear nervous system, with everything in alignment, when he had that trauma, the brain knew exactly where everything was and knew exactly how to actually spasm the muscles to protect him. So he had that kind of an outcome. So if you do have a healthy spine and nervous system, if you have somebody on your team watching your spine and nervous system to make sure it's always in alignment, then when a trauma does occur, chances are you're going to have the best outcome and heal up the fastest because of that. If you're curious, if you have any trouble with your neck, anything that's misaligned, or you're struggling with neck pain already, please click on the link below. We have a new patient special that you might be interested in, and when you click on the link, you can find out more about it.